let's start with thing number 1.
Wait. This is podcast episode...
Is it 3, 4?
3 or 4.
Here's the thing. I don't really know what's been posted. I think we've only posted one of them.
Okay. We have posted one.
But hey, this is Arizona's finest.
Right.
We're the finest. Okay, I wanted to talk to you about something. Bugs me.
Okay.
A little pet peeve. Get off my shoulders.
Did it happen this morning?
No.
Okay.
Happens quite often though. Something that people do regularly.
It's something other people do. It's something other people do.
Just gets under my
Okay.
skin. Okay, you know how you send a text? And then people on their fancy... Do you have an iPhone?
I don't.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry.
I have Android as well. Okay? And I think Android's starting to add this, but definitely it's bad with Apple people. They like or they heart your text.
Uh-huh.
And then it sends you the whole text message back because I have an Android phone. It says, Joe Smith liked, hey, I'm going to go to the store today. I'm like, dude, I don't need you to like my effing text. I don't need a whole text message back about that.
So that's a pet peeve.
Oh my gosh, I hate it.
My pet peeve would be Joe Smith. You have a Joe Smith that you're friends with?
No, that was just a made up name.
Okay.
That's a guy who started a church a long time ago.
Joe Smith.
First name that came to my mind.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it bugs the crap out of me.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like if I wanted you to like or heart my text, I'd put it on social media.
Okay. Well,
I'd post it on Facebook.
I've had Apple phones.
Okay.
I only had Apple phones till I got this one. I only
Yeah.
have Apple products. I
Uh-huh.
only use Apple products. You know that.
Except for your phone, apparently.
Except for my phone.
Okay.
Okay. It's a weird thing. People make fun of me, but the phone is something that I want separate from Apple. I don't know why.
Alright.
So anyway, I had an Apple phone, and it is so convenient though to like things. It's just thumb hit.
Why?
It's
Just read the
convenient.
text. I don't need to know if you like it or not.
It's
It's not a
I
popularity
understand
contest.
that. Okay, I see. So you're like, you don't have to touch it.
Yeah.
You can just let it
You
sit
just
there.
let it sit there. That's what people did back in the old days. Come on.
The fact that you're going in there and hitting something, that's what's upsetting you.
Oh my
But
gosh.
yes, I know that with Android it says the whole text back. I don't think Apple does that, if I remember right.
Yeah, probably doesn't because it's made for their system, right? But Android, I get the whole text back. I was like, I don't need to reread what I just sent you.
I honestly think it just puts a heart next to it, the bubble that you wrote. I think it's something like that. It's pretty simple. It's nothing big.
Yeah.
Android does make things more...
Now people think their opinions of my texts are important.
All right, you want my pet peeve?
Yeah, what's your pet peeve, dude?
I was just telling my kids this morning, and I felt bad because it was on them. But I was like, one of my biggest pet peeves in my truck, I have it's a 6-seater pickup truck.
Okay.
So the center console folds down.
Yeah.
My kids love sitting in the, I almost said a bad word. They love sitting in the middle seat,
Okay.
and they would they always flip
So
it
you
up.
flip the console up. Yeah.
One of my biggest pet peeves is my console flipped up. A
Oh.
couple reasons. One, my arm goes there when I drive.
Of course, you gotta have the armrest, dude.
So even when they get out, I'm upset because I'm like, crap, I have to reach over, super uncomfortable, hit the button. It's not an easy thing to do and drop
Oh, so
it.
it's not just a drop down.
It's
like
not a
there's
quick,
button and
easy,
stuff?
there's
Okay,
this
gotcha.
button, a locking button, and it's like gets stuck sometimes. Upsets me at like to the max.
Now, here's the question: what's in the middle of your console?
So, whatever's in the cup holders goes to the back.
Yeah, it just gets flown out, right?
They don't even care. My kids don't care. They just boom. That's part of the pet peeve. It's just the whole thing together.
And then
bothers me.
inside is like you store a lot of stuff inside.
Yeah, I have a bunch of receipts I keep.
Yeah, receipts.
Yeah.
That's your filing system.
That's my file cabinet.
At least those stay inside though, right?
Yeah, they're locked. But my goodness, and I don't care. You know, they move around or shuffle. But it's that cup holder that's gone. It's the biggest part of it. The problem that bothers me is the fact that I have to lean over uncomfortably, push the button, and it's a jiggle thing and drop it.
Dude. It's a rough life we live.
It's a 2019. Don't I have like a button I get hit and it just goes
right? Come on. 2019, that's old though, man.
It is old, actually. When we talk into the 19s, that is old.
You gotta get your 2023.
Dude, I'm way behind. You're right. This is
Are those out yet?
Um,
2023 models?
I don't think so. I don't know. No,
Probably
I don't
not.
think so.
Towards the
I
end
think
of the
they're
year, they
still
start
pushing-
coming
I
out?
think they're out of chips.
Yeah, stop making cars.
I think they
It's
stopped.
just done.
Dealerships are empty. They just
It's like, hey, we don't have chips. We're done with cars.
yeah. We're gonna. I don't know what we're moving to, but yeah,
Everything's
we're not starting
used from
cars
now
anymore.
on. They're all going electric, is what it is.
Yeah, public transportation. I think we're
Oh, yeah.
leaning towards that. So
Yeah, that'd be cool.
yeah.
Pretty soon, anyways, they're all going to be self-driving cars, and you won't own a vehicle.
Waymo.
Yeah, just like Waymo, right? But you won't own the vehicle. You'll own a subscription to a certain type of vehicle, and when you need to go somewhere, it's just going to drive up on its own, pick you up, and take you to where you go. And then if you're not a good person, they'll just take you to jail.
If you have a warrant, it has facial recognition. Just put it down.
Exactly. Like, oh, we've been looking for
The
you.
door's locked. Like, oh crap. Oh.
Can you imagine?
It could get to that point. I know that kids are getting their driver's license later in life.
They're scared, huh?
It's just a weird thing going on.
When you were that age, were you excited to get your driver's license?
100%. 16 years old.
You're like, boom, right away.
Uh-huh.
Let's do it.
Let's get a
the
car.
DMV.
Let's get my
Yeah,
license.
come on.
Yeah. But now kids are in high school. Kids graduate high school, still no driver's license. It's common.
That's weird to me.
Which to us was very weird because
Yeah.
by the time you're a senior and you're not driving, you're weird.
Well, here's the thing. I want my kid to get her license as soon as she can, so I'm not driving her everywhere.
Yeah.
And then also, I can have her take her little siblings to places,
That'd be nice.
right?
Yeah.
So
And there's what's nice too is there's so many ways to get our kids to drivable. Like for example, they start off with the power wheels, right? The little power wheels. They learn how steering wheels work, gas pedal works, okay?
Yeah.
And then they move up to like a quad. Then they move up to like a side by side. So they're able to practice, or even a golf cart. Let's just put a golf cart in between.
Yeah.
So they can practice these things before they even get, and we didn't get this opportunity. I know I did. Go-karts, you can have all that stuff.
Dude, I remember driving go-karts and stuff.
Right.
It's always my friends. I was the poor kid, but you know.
Yeah, me too.
Hey, let's go drive your go-kart, man. Hey, you got a quad? Let's go.
Yeah, I asked for that stuff every single year for Christmas. I never got it.
Yeah, I remember one time my buddy Tyler, we went out to the desert and he had some quads and he had this little one. I popped a wheelie on it and then I came down on the trailer. I cracked some of the covering of the quad. I felt so bad, dude.
The plastic on it.
Yeah, I was like, oh, sorry, man.
And at the time when you're young, you don't have money to replace it.
No, I was like,
It's
oh,
not like
crap.
you're like, oh, sorry, dude, here's
I'm
some money. Let's
screwed.
fix this.
Luckily, they were really cool about it. They probably don't even remember, but I remember just being like, oh no, I'm
Yeah.
a terrible person.
But anyways, that helps teach kids to get to a point of driving. And I
Yeah,
feel like
for
kids
sure.
nowadays, it's almost like they don't even want to.
They
I don't know.
They don't even have Mario Kart anymore. They got all these shooter
Mario
games.
Kart can teach them how to drive. Yeah.
Shoot. Gosh.
It's like gas, brake, turn.
Gas, brake,
It's
turn.
the same thing in the car.
Well, here's the thing. Being in Arizona, driving is really important. It's not like we have great
Right,
public
it's true.
transportation. What are they going to do? Go get on that light rail?
Everything's spread out here. Yeah, you need to be driving.
Yeah. We're a very driver-friendly state, if
Yeah.
you will. I remember this one guy came from Kansas. He's like, man, you guys' roads are awesome. And I'm like, what are you talking about? We got construction all over the place. We live off a Stapley Road. And it's like, is there ever not construction on this road? He's like, no, man. They're like, your streets are wide.
They are wide
And they're open and they're straight. I was like, oh, okay.
and straight. Yeah. It was funny because I grew up in Mesa.
Yeah.
All the roads are straight.
Yeah.
Even residential roads are straight. And then when Gilbert got built, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm getting lost because they started turning roads, and so in residential, you
In
the
the,
residential,
yeah.
and it turns in the neighborhood, the community.
Yeah, they have the mile roads that are all straight and grid, right? But you're right.
And I would get confused, and I'm like, I don't get it because at Mesa it's like alphabetical order, streets, and everything's just laid out like a square.
Yeah.
But no.
Yeah, dude, when they designed Mesa, they did not care if it looked cool. They did not care for, the scenic route. No, this is about efficiency.
And that's what I love going to Arizona Highlight.
Yeah.
That will be my answer. I love the simplicity of and I love how spread out it is. It's not
Yeah.
one of those places where everything has to be built up. It's starting to get that way in the small, in Tempe or wherever place kind of landlocked. They're starting to build up. But I love the fact that we can spread out.
Yeah.
And still have room.
Yeah, you're right. There's certain areas like, okay, downtown Phoenix, they've built some bigger buildings, but it's still not compared to most downtowns. Not like real built up, right?
Yeah.
Tempe, down by Tempe Town Lake, they started to do a little bit of that. But pretty much, we just keep building out.
Yeah. There's
Like-
more land. There's more land.
Yeah, and most of it's desert. It's pretty ugly. Like, what else are you gonna do? Might as well put a house there.
Yeah.
I love it when people come from these green areas and they're like, "Oh man, it's so pretty here."
That is funny. I'm like, where's the beauty?
Yeah.
Do they go out
You
to
love
the
that
desert?
dirt?
I go out to the desert. It's so pretty out here. I'm like, I don't know what you see.
Now, to be fair, if you go on like a good hike, sometimes it is pretty cool. Or you get up into the mountains, there's a lot of cool places. But then there's also just a lot of ugly desert.
There's a lot of beauty. It's true. When the desert is pretty to me is after we've had like a lot of rain and the
Oh,
grass
yeah.
starts to grow and it's green and,
And they get a little
flowers
desert flowers popping up. Those
and
are
the
cool.
cactus. Then it's like, okay, this is pretty.
Yeah,
I can appreciate that.
yeah, for sure. Or if you're in a spot that has water. Like, water in the desert is really cool looking. A
Yeah.
little stream or a river or something.
Yeah.
Super cool.
That was gonna be my highlight was the Saguaro River because
Saguaro River. The Salt
I've
River?
done that before. We've done that before on a video. I don't know if you remember that. The Salt
There's a
River.
Saguaro Lake, but that's the Salt River.
The Saguaro River is next to the Salt Lake. The Salt River.
Yeah. I don't know
All
why
the
it's called that.
vegetation down there is really cool.
It is. I haven't been for a while.
Yeah, I haven't.
I heard they're probably going to open it up here pretty soon to start allowing tubers down.
Oh, yeah.
Starting to get warm again. Oh, the last couple days have been nice, dude.
It's been cold.
Yeah.
My kids go outside and they're, Dad, I'm freezing.
How far out do you think they're going to build? Because like you said, they keep building houses just far out. Like, remember when AJ and Mesa were separated?
Yeah.
Now AJ's connected
It's
to
all
Mesa.
just one.
All just one.
Meridian, I think, is the correct
Queen
baseline,
Creek
but
used to feel like it was super far, and now it's kind of all
now
connected.
it's connected to Mesa because Mesa's gone down
I
there.
think we're gonna go all the way down to Tucson,
Just start filling out into the mountains.
just all the way through.
Yeah, that'd be cool. There's, like I said, there's plenty of land. There's plenty of Arizona State Trust land that they're now starting to sell off to developers.
They are, yeah.
So I don't know. There's just so much. There's a lot of land, but I also hear there's a lot of people moving here,
There are a lot of people
which
here,
which I don't like because I don't like humans. But
but it's better when it's spread out,
yes,
right? It's not like a big city where you feel trapped on top of each other.
yeah,
Like if you walk down the street and you see a neighbor out walking the street, it's still kind of like, oh hey, there's a neighbor. It's not like, oh, another person I'm passing by, right?
yeah,
Like New York City.
right. It's that's what's nice about here, and everywhere it's the same.
Yeah.
You know, even if you go in the middle of Phoenix, it's the same. It's not like people are walking on top of each other.
Yeah, exactly. I like
So
that.
there's a lot of it's a lot of room.
Yeah, a lot of room.
It's a big valley. When you come in on an airplane and you see how big the valley is, it's huge.
Yeah. It is huge.
Yeah.
All right, that leads me to next thing I want to talk about. Because you're talking about a lot of people, a lot of diversity coming into the valley, a lot of different types of folks, right? So this leads me to one of the things that I deal with when I sell homes or buy homes.
Another pet peeve.
No, not necessarily pet peeve, but an interesting rule or an interesting thing that people are starting to talk about. And that is, a lot of times when I'm representing a buyer, I want them to write a letter about their family. Say, hey, we're the Joneses or the Gonzaleses, and we want this house. You know, we've been looking for a house. Here's who we are. We got 20 kids. You know, we've adopted 10 of them, and this is what it would mean for us. Here's our situation. I like them to write that, right? Create kind of a human or a personal connection with the seller.
Is the letter one letter for every home they might make an offer on, or is it specific to that house?
You know, it depends on the client. Some clients, you're right, because today now they're
You might have made multiple.
making multiple offers, right? But typically it's to the house.
Okay.
You know, saying why they would want that house, what it would
Because
mean
of
for
my
them
20
and their
kids.
family. Yeah.
You know, this is a 3-bedroom house.
Yeah,
I have
we
20
love this
kids.
3-bedroom
I just want
house.
to stack bunk beds everywhere.
Your rooms are huge, so I can put 20 bunk beds in there, whatever, right? But I like that because it creates a human connection with the seller. It allows the seller to realize, hey, you're affecting a life. You're helping a family out. Your house is going to something good, right?
Yeah.
Now, here's what's interesting though, and here's the debate. So, I've heard rumors that in New York and California they've outlawed those letters. And the reasoning behind that is they say, hey, you can't be sending these client letters to the sellers because then that could lead to discrimination. And maybe they choose a certain family because of their ethnicity or their race or their religion, which are all protected statuses in the United States. It's like, okay, I get that. Like, we don't want to discriminate, right? However, in Oregon, they said, no, you have to allow these letters because if you don't, it violates free speech, is what the rule was in front of a judge. Now, I don't know what ended up happening to that. I should probably follow up. Here's my thought process on it. Love to hear what you think of this.
Okay.
Once you start taking the human element out of real estate transactions, right? Now, there's discrimination of all kinds. Like, anytime a decision is made, you're discriminating on behalf of one party over the other, right?
Yeah.
Like, I go to choose a candy bar at the store, I'm discriminating against Snickers by picking the Reese's peanut butter cups.
Yeah, because you don't want
Yeah.
the big nuts. You'd rather have the nuts.
Yeah,
smashed
you
together
can
and
come
eat
up
it.
with all sorts of reasons, right?
Yeah.
But there's some level of discrimination that occurs. So,
And the peanuts are pissed.
which I think is inherent in just making decisions. And if you have multiple offers, you have to at some point make a decision.
Right.
So what they're
Well,
basically...
at that point, you're discriminating because you're looking at, okay, how much are they putting down? Even if you look,
Yes.
whatever, you're discriminating against, here's an FHA loan offer, here's a conventional loan offer. I'm going to discriminate and choose one or the other because of whatever.
Because of loan status, down payment. And so that's basically what they're saying is, okay, so we want you to make your home selling decision solely based off of financial and terms consideration in the contract. Okay?
Okay.
Doesn't that discriminate against the poor?
Yeah, people who may not have enough to
Right.
put down.
Maybe, hey, I have, like you said, I have an FHA loan. It's not quite as good as a conventional loan, or it's not quite as good as cash. But we'll be able to pay you the amount. Would you take a risk on me? Here's my situation, right? But no, if you can't know anything about their situation, then you're just, oh, FHA loan, boom, gone. We're going with the cash guy.
What we're doing, it sounds like, is taking feelings out of everything.
Yeah, the human element.
Correct. Because I have seen offers get accepted because of letters.
Yeah, me too.
Where they're even coming in with less money, but they felt, hey, I like this family from this letter, I choose them.
So it gives somebody in maybe a more poor situation. I don't like to use that word, right?
Yeah. It's
But
not as
maybe somebody in a more difficult situation, an opportunity to purchase a home where they wouldn't have had it before, right? So I think by not allowing the letters, you lead to discrimination against the poor. Now, the poor is not a protected class, so maybe they're like, hey, who cares?
could become one someday.
But the second thing it does is it gives large corporations a leg up above everybody else. Because these people like OfferPad, Open Doors, Zillow, large industrial, that's not the right word, institutional investors. Large institutional investors come in and they're just like, hey, here's cash. And so then we get these investors that just end up
They
gobbling
win.
up all the
They
homes.
win because I discriminate against everybody else who's
And
financing.
so middle class, hardworking people then have no option unless they've saved up $1 million in cash to go purchase a home, right?
Yeah. Now, here, let me bring this back to because I remember I did go to a real estate school at one time. I was never smart enough to pass the test, but
People that pass real estate tests are the most intelligent among us.
but I will say I remember this. I remember being taught this that the seller can sell a home to whoever they want.
Correct.
They're allowed to discriminate. The real estate agent is not. They have to present all offers, and they're not allowed to any sort of race, religion. They can't discriminate. But as far as the seller is concerned, they're legally, and this is how it is, right? They're legally allowed to
The
choose.
seller can choose who they give the home to. Absolutely.
Like I remember hearing on a for sale by owner, you cannot sell the home to someone because they're a purple person. You can make that decision. As crazy as it sounds, as crazy as someone would want to do that, legally they're allowed to discriminate in that way. Is that right?
Now, I don't know if it's fully that way. I know that when we have listing agreements, in the listing agreement it talks about that we're going to follow the fair housing rules. And so the seller does agree that they're going to follow the fair housing rules, which states
Okay.
that you cannot discriminate based on race, religion. There's 5 different categories there, right?
Okay, so
and we
the
don't
seller does
does agree to that.
underneath the real estate agent. Okay.
Yeah.
okay, that
And
makes
as a
sense.
real estate
Okay.
agent, you definitely cannot discriminate.
Okay.
And you
I
don't
didn't know.
want to. Like that's not the point. Like I'm not saying we want to favor discrimination. Like I don't want somebody to not get a house because some douchebag is like, oh, you know what, this guy, I don't like his hair color or his skin color. Like, come
Right,
on.
that's horrible.
That's
not
terrible.
the point. You're selling a house.
Yeah. What I don't want, and I think most people are decent people. They're not going to be like, oh, we ain't selling the house to them
I hope not.
white rednecks over there, right? I'm scared of what to say because I don't want to offend anybody here. But I think most people are decent people, and they're not going to discriminate on those facts. What my thing is when you take the human element out of it, then you discriminate solely off financial basis. I don't think that's good or fair to people that are in the fight.
That might be a cash offer versus a down payment assistance offer.
Correct. And I think it unfairly advantages big investors. And what I would like to see is that normal people have an opportunity.
They still have user feelings,
Yeah, and exactly.
which is what you come down to.
And
the
you
human element.
still have the human element involved in the
The
transaction.
handshake at the end.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, where you live, what you do, like it all comes down to your relationships. And if everything starts going, like we were joking earlier about the cars coming and driving and picking you up, but if you could just get to the point where everything is done in an automated fashion and the human is taken out of it, what's the point? Like have the machines live the life for you?
Right.
You know
so
what I mean?
when we sold our house, I didn't write a letter, but I wrote down everything about the house. The pool filters, recently replaced those. Probably want to clean those in 6 months from now. The reverse osmosis system, recently just put in all new filters. In a year from now, you're gonna want to put in new filters. And I put down everything to do. Here's who we use for our pest control company. You don't have to use them, but they did a good job. And I listed like all those things. It was probably it was a page long, and I sent that. Now, if a corporation had bought my house, would I have ever done that?
Heck no.
No, I would have said, yeah, it's yours now. See ya. But
Yeah.
because I knew it was a family going in, and they really cared about the house, and I could tell that they cared about the house from the questions they would ask while they were buying it, I was like, well, let me get them this, so that way it tells them everything we've done and kind of our little schedule of maintaining the house.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean that's a perfect example, right? Oh, when you have that human element,
Human elephants.
it just creates a better transaction for everybody. They move into a home knowing, okay, this was cared for before.
Right.
And you get to give a home to someone and understand, hey, they're gonna have an opportunity to make this a no home. And it just, I don't know, just creates relationships. I just think in our world we need more of that. And a real estate transaction, as stressful as it is anyways,
Yeah.
that the more human element we can add into it, the better off it's going to be. That's my personal opinion on it. And we do need to be careful not to discriminate based off of, the legal definitions and the things that would be just terrible to discriminate against.
Right.
Like you shouldn't discriminate based off race or religion. I don't think you should discriminate based off of sexual identity or even politics. Like, could you imagine? Hey, I'm not selling my
Oh,
house
yes.
to a Democrat.
That'd
Like,
be
that'd
rough.
be so stupid.
Right. That makes no sense.
But you should be able to interact with people in a decent way, and the financial considerations I don't think should be the only considerations involved.
Right.
But I might be alone in that.
No, I agree with you. So something that the president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints said, and I thought this was pretty cool. He said that there needs to be boundary lines, but not battle lines.
Yeah.
So just because you have certain beliefs doesn't mean, oh, well, now it's a battle, because you don't believe that or because of this. No, we can all get along and all communicate and interact, and that's what makes human interaction so awesome. All the cultures and all the different things people are raised by, and then we interact with each other, and that's where the most important part is, that interaction and learning from each other and saying, oh, you did it that way growing up?
Hey, I like
this
that.
Growing up? And so you can still interact, but still have your own boundaries and be like, that's just not something I do, but we're not friends because of it.
Yeah, like the seller and the buyer don't have to fight in a transaction.
Right.
Oh, I gotta get one over on the buyer on this one, right?
Yeah.
But you do need boundaries. Like, here's the contract. We need to follow the contract.
Mm-hmm.
And hey, you're a human being. We're working to get this together because I want to sell it. You want to buy it. We're working towards the same goal. Right? So it's not a battle line, but it's, here's the boundaries within which we transfer the property. But we can actually work together towards that. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool, man.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been a good chat this morning, man. We were able to knock out the 3 items there.
Dude, freaking long list of notes here.
Hopefully these are good. Hopefully people watch this and are listening.
Dude, this one's got
watching?
to be our best one yet.
That's because you led this one.
Whatever.
Oh.
All right.
Until next time.
See you, folks.